remember. I
Oh,
remember.
hold on. Wait.
I
We
remember
didn't even
one
start. Hold
thing
on. We
I
got to
want to
start the
talk about.
countdown.
Let's go.
You got
All right.
was.
Is that you? Talk? Are
Ah!
you watching Instagram videos?
I was looking at a reel that Kaylee made that she was sending me from
What's
a
going on?
podcast episode.
Well, happy Friday.
Hi.
I see.
Happy
Let's see.
Friday.
No, Allison. I forbid that. I forbid that.
I'm happy it's Friday. Yay, I'm happy.
Well, let's see. We got in Discord. Looks like Beth Ann and Lab Rat are here. And then on YouTube,
Yay.
ADHD Fine Life said they finally got to see one of these live.
I
Maybe you
love
could,
that.
join us.
Oh my gosh.
This is a weird time too for us to be recording. So I was like, I don't know who'll be able to join us since we did a bunch of rescheduling.
Yeah, but we have good turnout.
Let me see. I want to test something out, Allison. I was trying to, let's see. I'm going to switch to this one. So, and then let me see. I'm supposed to be able to, let's see, switch this to my phone, hopefully. Let's see. Because
Gosh, here we go again.
something I want to show you.
I've
See,
already
Allison's like, here we
recorded
go
for
again. Christian, to figure something out. Let me remind everyone, give everyone a little insight. We got on here, and Allison's microphone sounded like it was just like, you know, when you turn on the radio and there's no station, it's just shh. And she hops on and she's like, well, my microphone's not working. It must be broken. And I was like, I highly doubt that your microphone is broken. And then you fixed it. So, Allison, I mean, do you want to start tech shaming
It
over
was
here?
broken, but I'm so technologically savvy that I was able to fix it.
I see. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Camera. Okay, all right. I'm going to try to share my phone here because this is an easier way to do this if I can figure this out. Let's see.
Have you hit record on QuickTime yet?
I have not because I figured no one wants to listen to this
Okay.
part here.
Then I'm going to stop that, my QuickTime, and I'm going to delete it.
Get it out of here.
Okay, and then you tell me when you want to hit me to hit record.
All right. You know, actually, let's do that. Let's do the clap while we're here. So I'm here. I hit record on
great.
my side.
I just hit record too.
You ready? 3,
Yes.
2, 1, clap. Oh, wow. We got a huge
Ooh,
delay
I am
going
super
on.
delayed.
That is horrible.
Me, I'm super delayed.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me
I
what I'm
don't
saying
know.
right
I think
now?
it's because Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's about I think like a second at least delay between us.
Oh, well, that's okay, right?
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. All right, let me try it again. Let's see if we do
Sorry
one more
about
clap
that.
and see if we get a little bit closer. You ready? All right. 3, 2, 1, clap. Oh man, that is that's huge. What's going on with your internet over there?
I don't know. I accidentally unplugged my entire computer. Could that have something to do with it?
I mean, it shouldn't. Like, is someone over there like watching Netflix next to you?
No, it's just
Oh, well,
me. My cat's
I don't want that
sleeping.
to be just me.
What happened?
I'm testing
Where
stuff
did I
out. There we
go?
go.
Okay, my cat's sleeping. Here, I'll give you a little tour. I'll show you. Oh, look at my animals. Here you go. Everyone gets to see. So there's my cat. Oh, wait. There's my cat sleeping on this pink chair.
Is your cat using too much internet?
And there's my dog. Yeah, he's watching. He's just Netflixing and chilling right there. So that's it. Those are the only other creatures in my house. Humans breathing. No, not humans. Those are the only other breathing animals in my house. No humans or anything like that.
I don't know what's going on then. I don't know why this is why we're having such a problem with your internet. Why there's a big delay. Hopefully it starts to work itself out. Sometimes you hop on there and then it's like there's a delay and then it slowly kind of catches back up. I don't know. We'll see.
I will say we've had some earlier this week. We had really bad storms and the internet went completely out. Thankfully, I was sick that day, and so I took a nap. But the internet went out, and it hasn't quite been the same since.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see. I don't know. You
Okay,
you have something called weather over there? I don't know anything about that. Okay,
Yeah,
here
we
go.
had some scary storms over here.
All right, I'm going to try this here, Allison.
Whoa, that's a lot of me.
All right, I'm going to put this here. We got 2 of you. And I'm going to try to switch this to my phone. Ha! Got it.
Okay, good job.
All right, so that worked. So I want to see, can you hear this? If I play an episode, can you hear this? No?
No.
No? Okay, that doesn't work. Let's see. Oh, wait, I got a thumbs up. So can other people hear that? Is it just us that can't hear the audio from this? Let me
I
know if you
can't
can
hear
hear
it.
this audio from this thing. Anyone? No?
I don't think anything's playing right now.
No, it is playing. I think it's just that the audio is not getting
Oh.
routed through my phone, which that's not good.
No.
Oh,
Lab
no.
rat. Shirley says no.
Well, that is not what I want to have happen here. Oh, well. All right. I was trying to share a video, Allison, that was very you, that I that was right here, the TikTok video. But let me see. I'm gonna try one more thing.
I've seen these videos where they make people look like fools. I don't want to see it.
What do you mean make you look like a fool? I would never.
They make people look stupid.
I would
and
never,
I don't wanna
Allison.
see that. Yeah, you just tried.
Oh no, I'm
But
gonna do
God
it.
was like, "Oh no, we're gonna break his technology because we're not gonna do that to Allison."
Why don't you tell everyone about why we had to reschedule?
I was sick. Everyone in my house got sick. I held strong. I was the only person in my house not sick. And then after about a week of everyone else getting sick, my body was like,
It finally caught up to you.
it really did. I really thought I had escaped it too. I was like really proud of myself. Like I was like, y'all need to buy me a trophy for Mother's Day. I ran around, took
Why?
care of everyone, cleaned everything because I was the only one that wasn't hit with this sickness in our house. But then it hit me. It caught up to me. And so I like literally was running a fever. I slept a lot. I was nauseous. It was bad. But I'm better.
Okay, that's good. I hate being sick. Like it is just like this that feeling of just being out of it and just you feel just gross and I'm like no.
Yeah.
That's why I don't hang out with kids because among many other reasons I don't want to be sick.
Well, I can't quite avoid mine, so.
You know, I am nervous because my niece, she's still young. She's like 16 months at this point. So I'm like, she's not at school age, but I don't know, man. When she starts going to school, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to put you in a little bubble or something when I got to hang out with you. I don't want you sneezing your germs on me.
Aww.
Put you in a little baby bubble. Okay, all right.
So
I think
funny.
I got this figured out. Let's see. All right, so
Okay, you ready to start?
hey, there's my phone again. So I'm gonna switch this to a screen. All right, I'm gonna figure this out. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds here.
Famous
Don't-
last words. Hi, Beth Ann.
Don't look at me like that. Entertain everyone, Allison. Why don't you do that while I figure this out?
Who's watching us live on YouTube? I see ADHD Phi Life. Oh my gosh, I have ADHD.
Yes,
It
you
has
do.
been made so much better thanks to Adderall XR. Shout out to Adderall Extended Release. It has helped me out tremendously. It's the only way I wrote my book. And yeah, I even have to take it sometimes on the weekends. Shirley says I have both going. Oh, she has YouTube and Discord. I guess that makes sense. Maybe some people are in both of them. ADHD Phi Life takes that too. It's amazing. It
I
is
mean, it really
incredible.
makes a
Now I
difference.
will say, it really does. I will say that mine's pretty expensive, and my husband's getting a new job in August, and our insurance is going to change, and I'm kind of nervous about what it's going to do to the price because I pay like $70 a month for it. Is that a lot?
That is not expensive. I mean, it's not
not?
cheap,
I think
but
it's
I mean, I have asthma. I have an inhaler. And that thing is like when my insurance deduction wasn't kicked in, it's like $300.
Oh my god!
So hearing 70, I'm like, you know, that's not ideal, but I've seen much worse
Yeah.
numbers when I go to pick up prescriptions.
I guess I'm like, oh, I guess I look at it. I compare it to like my antidepressants, which are like $8.
Oh well,
30
that's
pills.
big
So
difference.
maybe that's why I look at it like that. Oh,
Okay.
see, ADHD Phi Life says I pay $25 with my work insurance. See, like
That's pretty good. I don't know what I
pay more.
paid when
I don't
you
want
know
to
what?
watch
Yes,
this TikTok.
no, it's this. I'm gonna make you watch this, Allison. That was the whole point of me doing all
Okay,
this.
fine.
Okay, so
Okay, well let's do it.
I got to figure it out. Don't rush me. I got to do a setup now. So I don't know if everyone caught this, but a little while ago, am I frozen on your side? Because I was frozen for a bit there. No? Okay.
No.
So a little while ago, we did in a special Patreon episode, you went through and you were guessing sports team names based off of locations. I think we were like, oh, what's the team in LA? And you were like, I don't know, the Dodgers. And I'm like, well, that's the baseball team, not a football team. So you were so horrible at guessing sports team names that when I came across this, I immediately thought of you. And I was like, I have to play this for Allison. So this is from the Tennessee Titans official
Is this the one
account.
with the logos?
It is. So let me know. Hopefully
Okay,
you should
I
be able to hear
haven't
this.
seen
Okay, here we go. This is the sound.
Okay.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I kind of want to try guessing them.
You go. You. How about you play along? Can you hear this?
Who's that?
That's the Tigers. No, that's the
St.
Titans.
Louis.
That's the New England
Rams?
Titans.
Hold on.
New Orleans Saints. Saints.
Lightning McQueen. No.
Oh, Lightning.
Oh, that's just the football. Okay.
Lightning. That's the Patriots. I can't even see
The
that one.
Boston Bobcats. No idea. No idea.
Oh, that's the Cowboys.
Baltimore
That is
Orioles.
not the Cowboys. These people.
Patriots.
Is
The
the
Patriots.
Red Stallions. Ah.
The Panthers.
No. Stars.
The Panthers. Oh,
It's the
Steelers. I know that because of this test. New England
From
Steelers.
the islands of the Caribbean.
I can't see that. I can't see this
Chester
one.
Cheeto.
Oh, Jaguar.
Tigers.
Jaguar?
North Carolina Tigers.
That's a Panther. I
Texas.
said Panther
That's
already.
the Cowboys. That's the Cowboys. Texas. Got that.
That other one was the Panthers. That was the Tennessee Panthers.
Okay, that was not. I just realized you're not even going to get the jokes because you don't even know the names of these teams. So I probably should pause and tell you. So the last one was the Jacksonville Jaguars. This woman said this is
Okay.
the Cowboys. Who you live in?
What is that?
Let's mind everyone. Let's remind
That's not
everyone.
the Cowboys.
You live in
That's
Texas.
hold on. That's not the Cowboys. That is not the Cowboys. The Cowboys is a star. This is a horseshoe. Those are the Stallions. Those are the Pacific Northwest Stallions.
The Pacific Northwest Stallion.
Oh, you're right. The Wyoming Stallions.
There's no professional football team. This is the Indianapolis Colts. You're kind of close to Stallions.
Oh.
Horseshoe, horse. You were in the the ballpark. Okay, here's the next one.
Atlanta.
That's it.
Florida.
Florida Dolphins.
So the Atlanta.
Okay, that's the Dolphins. That's Tampa Bay Dolphins.
No, that would
That's
be
the
the.
Tampa Bay Miami Heat Dolphins.
Why did you add a basketball team in there? You were so close. I was like, oh, she has it. These are the Miami Heat. It's the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, Texans.
Okay, let's see.
Texans.
Okay. Oh, these are the Texans. I live in Houston. Houston Texans.
Okay, so I'm proud of you. This lady was also kind of close. She was there.
Okay.
Eagles.
Okay. Eagles. Which one?
Pittsburgh.
Okay. Wait, I can't really see that very well. It's super fuzzy. That is an eagle. No, that is a. Ooh, that's a jayhawk. That's a.
You're actually
That's
kind
a
of close. You're in the ball. Okay, you got part
That's
of the
a
name.
hawk.
You got part of the name in there. Hawk is part of the name.
Hawk. Hawk rays. Hawkeyes. 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 Seahawks. Seahawks. CJ.
No, you read that. You saw the comment. You saw the comment. No cheating. Don't look. Don't look at the comments. Like, what city? It's not Pittsburgh. I can tell you that.
It's Seattle Seahawks.
Hold on. No, you read the. Get out of the comments, Allison.
No, Seattle Seahawks because Matt saw the Seahawks. He flew to Seattle. He went to the Seattle Seahawks versus Dallas Cowboys game a couple of years ago, and that was the first time he ever smoked weed.
Okay, here we go. Here's the next one.
Who's that? Bulls? Who? Patriots? That's the Patriots logo.
We
Okay, I know that one.
already did that one. You
I
already
know
know that.
that one.
Don't I am that it actually does not exist.
Okay, this
I
is
just
a
told you this one.
Jaguar. This is. Oh, you did. This is the New England. No. This is the Jaguar. These are the North Carolina Jaguars. That's what you said.
That is not what I said. You're on the right coast.
The
You're in
Tampa,
you're in the
Tampa Bay.
You're in the
no,
right state now. You're in the
Miami-
right state.
Okay.
Come-
Florida. Jacksonville Jaguars.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, I kind of made that up.
That is Nashville, Tennessee.
Tennessee Titans.
Oh, well, this is the end. They already know it.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans. Woo!
Tennessee Titans.
Which one?
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans. Wait, what?
Oh, because they're all in.
So I should have been pausing at the beginning to get your answers for the other ones, but when I saw this video, I immediately thought of you. Hold on, let me just. I'm gonna leave it pause. Can I just? Hold on. Let me mute this and pause it.
Okay, you can stop now.
No, I want you to guess the remaining teams. Hold on, let's see. So there is.
But I don't.
Okay,
I can't see them very well. That's a lightning bolt. I can't see it. It's very fuzzy on my end.
is it blurry?
That's a lightning bolt. That is something called the That's a lightning bolt. It's the lightning. Ooh. It's something about the strike. It's like the striker.
Okay, electricity is involved in the name.
Nevada
Electricity is part of the name.
Electric. The electric seals of Seattle. The
Okay, no.
ooh, what is this
It's
lightning
the
bolt?
Chargers is the name.
Oh, Chargers. Those are the New England Chargers. No.
You're so
Chargers.
confident.
The Denver Chargers.
I'm just gonna tell you, it's the LA Chargers.
Oh,
Formerly the
okay.
San Diego Chargers.
That.
I like how you just jumped clear
Okay.
across the country. Okay, hold on. Let's see. What's the next one? Okay, that one. This one's a little hard. I don't know if you
cannot
would get
see
this
that
one.
I cannot see that at all. It's like a red wizard.
Hold on. Is this blurry?
The-
Let me switch back. Hold on. I think I need to close some tabs. I have a
My
billion tabs.
screen is blurry because of my janky internet right now. It looked like some sort of crazy, weird red wizard. A Gryffindor. It's
Okay,
like
can you see it a little bit better now? It's an orange helmet.
It's an orange helmet. Orange. Oh, is that the Tennessee Titans? I see the orange helmet. It's just a red helmet. It's just an orange helmet.
Yeah,
That's gonna
okay.
be,
The team name.
Oh, is that the football team?
No,
the football
okay.
team.
The
They used to be
the
the
orange is
Redskins.
orange is
They were
throwing
like,
you
"Oh,
off.
no, that's rude."
No, you're wrong. 100% wrong. The orange is probably going to throw you off because the team name is also a color, but it's not orange.
Green Bay Packers.
I would love for the Green Bay Packers to have an
Jay.
orange helmet. Okay, it's the Browns, and they're
Oh, the
in.
Denver Browns. The Broncos. The Browns.
I like how one you just
Browns.
changed the team
No?
name. After I told you,
What?
ADHD 5 Life said I'm definitely not a sports person at all.
What is it?
Oh,
What is
man.
the Browns?
It's the
Browns
Cleveland
are
Browns.
Oh, I was not going to get that.
You were never going to get that. Okay, this is not the Boston
Cincinnati
Bobcats.
Bengals. This
Oh,
is
wait.
Cincinnati
Oh, you know
Bengals
this
because
one.
Nick lived there. Because Nick lived in Cincinnati for like 8 years.
Okay, all right. Let's
My
see
brother.
the next
That's my
one here.
brother.
Let's see. I'll make sure I don't skip one. You already know that one. Okay, this one. I'll give
That's
you a
the
hint.
Patriots. That's the New England Patriots.
Oh my god.
No, it's the Steelers. That's the New England No, that's the Steelers. No, Steelers is Pittsburgh. Pennsylvania?
Okay, I'll give you-
Philadelphia Steelers.
Allison, here's a hint. They have the correct city name already on there. Baltimore.
Raven.
There
Those are
you
the
go.
Boston Ravens.
No, I said they have the correct city
What?
name. Baltimore.
I can't read it. It's all blurred.
Oh, you can't read it?
Baltimore
Okay.
Ravens. Baltimore Ravens.
All right, let's try the next one. Okay, here you go.
Laughing. Okay, what is this? This looks like I can't see it really well. This looks like a feather. Is it a feather? What does
Okay,
it describe
I
it
forgot
to
you
me?
can't
It's
really see. Your
blurry.
internet's so messed up. This is like it's a bird. It's a bird of prey.
Oh, a bird. It's a bird. An eagle. It's the
It is-
eagle.
It is
It's
not the
it's
Eagles' colors are
the-
not red.
Oh, it's the.
They're an East Coast
It's a
team.
bird of prey. East Coast, though. Oh, Portland.
Portland is on the West Coast. On the East Coast.
Oh, you're right. It's not Maine.
Okay, it's in
not
the South.
Maine.
East Coast. It's on the South.
The South, the Charleston.
There's no Charleston football
Seabirds.
team. It's
I don't know what this-
it's the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, I was so not gonna get that.
Okay, let me see if there's one more. I'll get one more for you. The last one. Okay.
I know that one. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, their name is on the logo, so that's cheating. So I won't do that one. All right, this is the last one. I think maybe we've caught up. Let's see. Oh wait, you should
I
know
think
this
we've
one.
caught up. Oh, I can't tell. What is that? Oh, it's a bird. It's a red bird. It's a cardinal. It's the
Wow, your
cardinal.
internet is really bad. That is
It's
not a
the-
bird. It's a flag.
Oh, that's the Pirates. Oh, Pirates.
It's not okay. Ignore all the words on the
Something
screen
by
because
the
they're
sea.
not. Their name is not the Pirates, but that's very close. It's a related word to what their name is.
The Pirates, pirate chest. The ship battlers. The give me the first letter
B.
of the B. The battleship people. The
What's another word for like a
Boston,
pirate? Like that starts with a B.
a
Most people
bad
don't say
guy.
this.
They're bougie bad guys who just want gold.
Okay,
They
I'm
are
gonna cut you off.
fun.
It's the Buccaneers.
Oh god, I was not gonna get that. Oh, Tampa
And
Bay Buccaneers.
There you go. All right, Allison. There you go. That's the end of your test.
Thanks.
But I hope
That
all
was
of you
useful.
listening when
My
watching this,
hands are sweating.
I think you can see why this video reminded me of Allison because oh, you're so bad at these team names. Oh man, thank you for giving me a good laugh. I appreciate that. I really do.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Whew.
Let's get started because I do have a deadline to pick up my kids from school.
I guess so. Make sure when this comes out, just show your kids this video. I want to get their response to you guessing these teams.
I don't mind showing them. I mind showing Matt.
Yeah, please show
Really
Matt
not
this.
disappointed.
I'm gonna send him a link to this. Actually, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Matt, we got some work to do." Oh, all right. So, are you? Oh, I'm not even in Discord. I haven't been in Discord this whole time. Sorry, Shirley. You've only been here half the
Discord?
conversation. All right, so let's jump
I think
into
Shirley's also here.
let's jump into the
Shirley's
actual
also
show.
on YouTube.
Whew.
Okay, let's do this. You're up.
All right, I had too much fun laughing at you. I'm sorry.
Thanks. It makes me feel special when you laugh at me like that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, here we go. So as you know, I've been going to a lot of basketball games this year. Like I don't even know how many I've been to, but I went to a good amount. And then I actually got to go to a few playoff games. And I'm a big Sacramento Kings fan. That's what I talked about is what I was loving, I think last episode. And me and a friend of mine, his name's Albert, we drove to Sacramento and we went to a Kings game. And this was the first time I ever bought like standing room only seats because they were like, the seats were pretty expensive. So I was like, what's the cheapest ticket we can get? And basically what you can do, they have a big standing room only section at the top that's like, you know, it's way at the top. You can't really even see anything because your view is blocked. But at the bottom section, they have little areas blocked out where you can just stand at the back of every section around the bottom floor and just watch the game. So it's a really great view. But the only downside is you just got to stand there the whole time. So we're standing there watching the game. And I'm realizing as I'm getting older, I don't watch basketball as much, but there's a lot of new players who I've never heard of. I'm like, I've never seen this person in my life. This child was out here playing basketball that I've never seen. And so this guy, he starts like going on a run. He's like scoring all these baskets. And I'm like, who is this? They said, I don't even remember his name. And so I said to my friend, I'm like, who's this guy? And there's an usher, this older man. Like I had to guess maybe like, he's probably like in his 50s, maybe 60s, standing there. And he is like, oh, that's such and such. He was the, I don't know, all-time champion scoring player of the week in college. And I was like, oh, okay. And he said it with a little sass. He was like, you know, you don't know who he is? And I was like, oh, you know, I don't watch college football or college basketball. And he was like, I could tell. And turned around and stopped looking at me. Hey, this is Chris.
And this is Allison, and you're listening to This Is Awkward. Here's my thought on this usher. Do you think that he works there just so he can see the games because he's such a fan?
That's what I'm thinking. Because you think about it, like if you're an usher, you get prime location and you're getting paid. I mean, I'm sure they're not paying them a lot of money, but you're getting paid to watch basketball games. And I mean, this man knew basketball clearly and knew that I didn't know as much as he did.
Yeah, and was disgusted with the fact that you didn't know who this guy was.
He's like, how
And
dare you?
That to me says someone that he's like an ultimate fan.
Yeah, he was in deep, and he was like, I'm not. He had the old man sass of like, these kids here, they don't even know anything about basketball. Showing if you're talking to them. I was just like, this guy was just, he wasn't having it. He wasn't having this unintelligent basketball person standing next to him speaking nonsense.
He was like, get me out of the room. I don't even want to breathe the same air as you. That's what he was thinking.
He ended up leaving. He was like, I can't even be in this section. He probably switched. So he's like, bring Joe over here. I can't be by this man. He didn't know what he's talking about.
Well, I think this is actually common that people do this. Well, I don't know. I know with the Taylor Swift concert, a whole bunch of people like were ushers and were working it because they couldn't get tickets.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I never even thought about that.
So maybe that's what this guy did. So, maybe that's what you should have done.
I mean, if I lived in Sacramento, maybe I might consider doing that. Depends on the hours, Do I got to be there for all? I don't want to be there for stuff I don't want to see. ADHD Fi Life said, that's smart. I worked at an amusement park and could get free rides during work. You gotta get the hustle. Yeah. I always wanted to work at a movie theater when I was in high school because I love going to the movies, and it's like I could get into free movies all the time. But I never got the job. I was really sad that I didn't get the job at the theater. I could have been watching movies.
Did you try to get the job?
Well, here's the thing, I applied and then they never, apparently they wanted me to come, but then they didn't call me back. Like they didn't contact me. So that's how I ended up being a paintball referee, because that was a job that called me back in the other theater. I don't know what happened. I don't know who they called, but they didn't call me. But later on, I found out that they did want me to come back, but I just missed that. I missed the opportunity of a lifetime.
Eating popcorn, watching movies, sitting in the back seat with your feet propped up, people looking around saying, who's that movie theater worker? Why isn't he doing what he's supposed to be doing? And they would have been like, that's really awkward. I'm going to have to ask him to go do his job. But that's what we do here. We talk about awkward. You like that? You like that story that I just made up in my head? We talk about awkward situations, specifically your awkward money situations. And we want to talk you through them so that way you can navigate them without losing your friends or family along the way.
And I'm still thinking about you yelling at people at the movie theater. Why aren't you doing your job? Get to work. I'm trying to enjoy this movie. I can't enjoy it while you're back there not working. But
Eating popcorn, throwing popcorn up, catching it in your mouth. That's what I think you would be doing.
that's what I would be doing, enjoying those movies. But you know what I also would be doing? I would be giving us a call at 707-200-8259, because what makes this show great, what makes this show what it is when you all share your awkward money stories with us. We're actually running low. We need to get some more stories in. Our bank of pending stories is getting real thin. And also, as a reminder, this is our last episode before we're going on our summer break. So this gives you a nice time to, think, do some weird stuff around other people so you can have some stories and send them in to us. If you are a patron, though, you will still be getting episodes. But for our main feed, we do take a pause during the summer. Not for me. It's for Allison, because she's never at home during the summer.
Anyway, you can go to awkwardpodcast.com to share your stories. You can either call us or you can go there. You can send us a voice memo there or just type it out. And speaking of which, we are taking a summer break, but
Oh, I know. I just said that, Allison.
I know, but I just think it should be repeated because it's so important. But for our Patreon members, we are still going to be coming back with content. So we're actually still going to be meeting over the summer to record, but it's just not as often. So come join us. It's really fun. You can go to patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast, or just click the link in the show notes. You can start at $3. You can get extra bonus episodes for $5. Think of it as, just a way, like your fun money. It's just $5 of your fun money every month to just kind of chat with us. You get to join us live. We have a Discord where you can chat with us. It's really fun.
Yeah, exactly. And think about it. All the streaming services out there, they're getting more and more expensive. They're just jacking those prices up. Where can you get a streaming service for $5 a month? You can't even do that anymore. Everyone's all expensive. So come join us. I'm not saying, we're Netflix, but
I was but we're not a streaming service. So we still want to really make sure your expectations are realistic.
I mean, you can go back and stream past episodes on YouTube in your own RSS feed.
So there we go.
But yeah, come join us. We'd love to have you. So Allison, I don't know. I know you have not looked at today's story, but this is actually a repeat submitter. This is from Anastasia, which I'm sure is her fake name. If you go to awkwardpodcast.com, we have a form there. You can go in and fill it out with your awkward question or awkward story, and then just put up whatever name you want. I have a little filter that says just make up whatever name you want. So she put Anastasia. And so she wrote in because her parents are horrible tippers, and she's getting uncomfortable going out with them and dealing with this situation. So I thought this would be a good one, especially going into the summer. I feel like people do more stuff during the summer. You're probably eating out a little bit more. You're out and about. You're in more tipping situations. So maybe we can help some other bad tippers out there, or people dealing with bad tippers in their lives, kind of be a little bit better at this.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that. But we're going to do that right after a short break.
Boom. Here's a break.
This is where
Okay, yeah, Logan said my video is hitching. So yeah, I think overall both of us are having internet issues today. I don't know what's happening. I probably have a billion things open, so I'm gonna close a few things right now. Actually,
I don't have a billion things open.
I have so many tabs open. Do you not have like a million tabs open on your computer?
I have 5 tabs open.
That's it?
That's it.
What are you even doing? Are you even trying?
I have this interview right here open. I have Google Drive open, my email open, our show notes, like our outline, and then my toggle to track my time. That's it.
I don't know how many tabs I have open, but right now, it's actually not that bad. I probably have about, 3, 7.
You're like, I I have about 97 open now.
I only have 17 tabs open right now. That's all. So yeah, I'm gonna close. This one doesn't need to be open.
Do you want to
playing
read the
a-
story or do you want me to read it?
It's up to you. Do you feel like I'll read it? I don't think I've read one in a little while. I'll go in there. So I'm gonna close this out. Let me see. Close that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. All right. Boom. All right. So hopefully I will run a little bit smoother now with some more of this nonsense cut out.
Okay.
I can't help myself sometimes.
Am I messing up? Is my video messing up?
I don't think so.
Everything is fuzzy for me. Everything.
Well, then you are messing
That's
up.
okay. Thanks.
I'm gonna
Okay,
close this.
let's do this.
All right. You bring us back from the break. You're the one. I'm
Okay,
reading stories.
here we
You
go.
bring us back.
Well, that was a nice break.
Wow. Great job bringing us back, Allison.
Chris, read us today's awkward story.
Well, thank you. I think I will. So, like I mentioned, this is coming from Anastasia, and she wrote in that clear my throat and get ready. The general rule of thumb I hear is if you can't afford to tip, you shouldn't be going out to that restaurant. I.e., always budget for a tip when going out to eat / getting another service where tipping is customary. 20 years ago, when you could get a good burger for $3.50 at a sit-down restaurant, my parents used to use the tipping rule of $1 per person. I could be wrong, but I assume that was a reasonably polite tip for restaurants of that pricing at that time. The issue, the tipping strategy hasn't changed much in the last 20 years. They've increased it to $2 per person, i.e. a $6 tip on a $50 to $60 meal for three. That's about 10%. We usually go out to eat on Fridays with us rotating who pays. On the days that they pay, I feel it is completely out of line to tell them that they need to leave a bigger tip when they are treating me out to dinner. But I feel weird leaving the restaurant with a poor tip too. I don't think there's any changing them, and bringing this up directly will just offend them. I've tried offhandedly dropping hints that 20% is customary, but to no avail. I've also tried dropping cash on the table as we were leaving before too. I offer to pay the tip for special occasions when I'm both the one paying, but that's a typo. When I'm not the one paying, but it seems suspicious to do that. So there we go. Anastasia, her parents are they're stuck in
tippers.
They're stuck in a point in time. They're like, hey, if $1 was good for them in 20 years ago, $2 should be great. I've doubled. It's 100% increase in my tip.
That's true. This is an interesting one because I think that you know what I would say for this is I would say like just let it be. Like,
ooh, so you wouldn't say anything.
I don't know if I would because I feel like if she says they're kind of stuck in their ways, everyone has their own choices of doing things. She's tried saying, 20% is customary, everything like that, but I just am wondering if it's even worth it. Is that terrible to say that?
I don't know. Part of me is like, you need to say something because I don't know. I think it all depends on the relationship with your family. I feel like with my parents, I could say something. I haven't had to do this because my dad hates eating out at restaurants. Like he never wants to do it. So it rarely ever comes up. But I can think of my brother, for example, my younger brother, he's cheap and his thing was always $5. $5 tip is good, like $5, no matter what. So he's like, sometimes people get a really good tip, sometimes they don't get a great tip. But then when he started dating his wife, she had worked in the food service industry before. She had been a waiter before, and she was like, "No, you can't be doing this." And I think she eventually just shamed him into leaving better tips. But the thing is, I don't know if it's hard to do that with your parents, right? Because of that weird power dynamic. You can't.
Yes.
I don't think I could shame my parents into doing anything. I don't think they really care what I have to say.
I would agree with that. I would agree that like they're gonna do what they want to do. It sounds like sometimes we can have influence over people. And it's because they are easily influenced, like children and people that look up to us. But I mean, think about it. But sometimes, especially people who are set in their ways, they don't want anyone to have any influence over them.
No, they will not be influenced.
They're not open to it. They're not even open to having the conversation. So I think it sounds to me like Anastasia has tried. Well, she says she's tried dropping hints that 20% is customary. But if they're the ones paying, like, I don't know. I mean, you could like get them like a book on tipping and just have it sent to their address with no note from who it was from.
Do you think they're
That's
going to
an
read that?
option.
They're not about to read that book.
No, and they would probably know who it came from. But like I can see like anytime my parents pay for something, I'm not looking to see how much they tip because that's not
That
my
is true.
business.
I don't look either most times.
So I don't even know if my parents are good tippers. I would assume they are.
That's a good point. That's a good
I mean,
point.
because I don't know. I'm not like peeking over their shoulder seeing what they're tipping. But I do know what I have learned in terms of tipping. Now, this person she's saying it's like $1 per person. Now it's $2 per person. And I almost wonder if it's not that they can't afford it. It's just that they think their way is right.
I think so. They're like, I think it's the typical mentality of, well, they're getting paid to do a job already. But that's not the case in a lot of states when it comes to servers. Like a lot of them pay them under minimum wage, and the tips is what bring them up. Because we can go into a whole discussion about how that's not how the system should work. Like the businesses should be forced to just pay them more money and then just eliminate tipping. Like tipping, because I hate the dance of tipping because you're always like, do I tip on this?
Yeah.
I went and picked up coffee. Do I tip them? I always end up doing it because I'm like, well, here I want to be nice, but then there's too many situations. Like recently, I gave someone a massage as a gift. Like I said this again. Let me rephrase that. I did not give them the massage. I paid for a massage for them.
You're like, I got the oils. I said, come on over at 3:00 on a Friday.
And can you
When
believe
I'm
they
done
didn't even
recording
tip
with
me?
Allison.
They didn't even leave me a tip.
I put on some nice calming music. I had a candle going.
Yeah, that needed to be rephrased. I
Logan
purchased.
was not a fan of my attempts at giving him his back massage.
Oh man, that would. I need to rephrase that. I paid someone else to give someone else a massage, and then the screen popped up, and it was like, "Oh, here's your tipping options." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you do tip masseuse, right? Masseuses, masseuses.
Masseuses?
Is masseuses the
it's
plural of
masseuses.
masseuse?
I think it's masseuses. That sounds right.
That sounds so wrong.
It
I
kind
don't.
of sounds like mooses.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
masseuses. So I think we're right.
Maybe
here.
masseuse. Okay, I gotta
You
look.
and I-
Masseuse.
No, you and I are right. We have never.
How do you spell masseuse? That's one thing.
I think it's like kind of spelled like museum. No.
Okay, it's MASSEUSE. It's like.
Oh,
that-
I was gonna totally say MI.
Okay, so what is the plural of masseuse? Is it masseuses?
Masseuses?
So stupid.
Masseurs?
I think it might be masseurs, right?
Masseurs?
That sounds
No
gross.
one is coming on YouTube and correcting us, and no one is coming on Discord
No.
and correcting us, which tells me that they also don't know.
The plural is masseuses. Look at that. We all learned something today. We weren't as dumb as we thought,
reminds me
Allison.
of Medusa, and I think she has plural snakes on her head.
So it's one snake.
That's how I'll remember that masseuses is the plural of masseuse because it sounds like Medusa, who has multiple snakes on her head. This is how I remember things, by the way.
We're so off track. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so the screen popped
We were
up.
talking about how you were giving Logan a massage.
Yeah, I was giving Logan a massage, and he was like, "Well, do I tip you?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, it would be nice, but in the situation, I was stating that I'd rather the price just be higher, and there's no option to tip, versus they set a price lower and then expect a tip. Because even though I end up paying the same amount in both situations, mentally you're like, I was gonna pay this, and now I'm paying 20% more than I was already set on paying. Versus, I'm not mad about the total. It's just mentally you hit this barrier. But unfortunately, that's what we're stuck with, right? Like that's the system and how it works.
Yeah, it's
Logan said, wouldn't recommend. He has ashy, rough hands.
So don't help Chris with his new side hustle of being a masseuse because his hands are ashy and rough, and Logan did not enjoy his massage
Oh.
from you the other day. even though you got the oils for it. Here's what I would say. I actually had a conversation with Barbara Sloan on my podcast about this. Do you know who she is?
Yeah, she wrote that book, Tipped, right?
Tipped. Yeah, Tipped. And she basically worked in the service industry for many years in many different areas of the service industry, from like being a waitress to even like a stripper, all of these things. And it's all about managing your money as a service industry worker who basically relies on like this very variable, fluctuating income. And we talked about tips, and I was like, I'm always confused sometimes. I feel like it's very easy now. Okay, hold on. Let me restate this. I feel like the rules used to be very clear with who you tipped. It was like service, like you get your hair done, you have you go out to eat, things like that, right? Domino's comes and brings you a pizza. They did something.
You tip the
for
driver.
You tip the driver, exactly. But I feel like as we have, technology, honestly, how it's been so much easier to tip and to ask for tips and almost like automatic, it's very confusing on when to tip. And I think, oh my gosh, I look at my children and I'm like, I probably need to sit down and talk with them
about how they're not tipping you.
Well,
I picked you up from school early and brought you McDonald's and got no thank you.
Exactly. But about like what, just letting them know, here's who you tip, here's who you don't. But I feel like I need to Google it because for instance, I had a professional service done for my business. That's all I'm going to say.
You made it sound way shadier than it needed to.
I just don't want to dox the person.
Oh,
but
okay.
I had a contractor help me.
Hold on, wait. You know what doxing means?
I do.
Oh, my mind was blown. I had to just stop you. Please continue your story.
Them, right? Like outing them online.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to describe it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Letting the truth be known. Like you're supposed to hiding something and then you leak it.
I mean, I don't think that's the official description, but that's close enough. Close enough.
Okay,
you got the spirit of it.
Yes. Okay. So I don't want to dox this person, but I will say that or just what I had, I run a business. I hire out contractors to do things that I don't always know how to do. So I had this person, and Chris, I'll tell you at the end who it was. I had this person do a service for me, and at the end there was a tip, and it was like a service. It was like a creation of something, and I was like, do I tip? Do I not tip? It was already really expensive, and I was like, I don't feel like I should be tipping. I just felt really weird, and I don't remember. It was so long ago. I don't remember if I tipped or if I didn't tip, but I remember being taken aback and thinking, is this something that I'm supposed to be tipping for, or is this just a service? Like, I paid you to do this for me as outlined in the contract, and you did it, and that should be enough.
Yeah, and even in Discord, where's my button at here? Beth Ann was like, yeah, there's a ton of places with tip jars that shouldn't have them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's it's hard to know, right? Because everyone, I think like you said, with the rise of online payments and these online payment systems, it's like by default, there's just a tip option being added to everything, to all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like even Amazon during the holidays, didn't they add something where you could tip the driver?
I was like, Amazon, you of all people just need to be paying your people more money. Don't ask me to pay your people more.
I'm like, do I need a tip? Like, if my kids ride the bus, do I need to tip the bus driver for bringing them home? Do I need to tip their teachers? Like, I'm like, when does it end? And how confusing is it now? It's really just confusing a whole bunch of people. And so you have the older people who are set in their ways, and they're like, this is the way I've always done it. This is the way it's done. No, I'm not going to do it. And then you have this younger generation that I think is more open to the idea of differences, but then it's also just really confused. And I speak as that younger generation because that's me.
I mean, I don't think we're millennials. We're no longer the younger generation anymore. We're like in the middle now. Sorry to break it to you, Allison.
29 last month. You and I both. So I don't know what you're talking about. We actually put filters on our face to make us look more mature when we go places and when we show up online and in real life.
Yeah, you get mistaken for a 7th grader all the time. It's so I know it's so inconvenient.
No, I get mistaken for a 36-year-old, which is odd because I'm only 29. Just kidding, I'm 36.
But I think what happens, with the younger generations, we'll say like Gen Z, the real true younger generation, I think it's more like we know the system's messed up. We know they're underpaying you. So it's our duty to like show our appreciation and support the lower paying workers. That's what that's the vibe I get. Cause that's kind of how I feel when I go into these places. Like, I don't want to be tipping, but I know these people are not being paid as much as they should be in a lot of situations. And there's a lot of like weird behind the scenes, like poor treatment. There's someone I know, I won't, I think they're actually in the
won't
chat
dox
right
them?
now. I won't, I won't dox them. which I'm not gonna give out this.
Am I using that word correctly?
It's kind of like giving someone's personal information out online, because then people can go and like harass them, basically.
Okay, so this would be doxing that person.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you have to give like maybe like their name and address or phone number, or email. I give some way to reach out to them. Then maybe.
So
But
what
I think-
happened to Logan?
No, it's not Logan. It's someone else. I won't tell his information. But he works. Let's just say he works in a field that kind of watches out for labor laws, essentially.
Okay.
And the stories I've heard from this man about these shady companies and how poorly they treat their employees and how they're constantly trying to rip people off and not pay them what they're worth. And I think that is kind of being ingrained in the younger generation. Like, I think older people, they don't, they're not as aware and want to acknowledge all the atrocities. But the younger generation is like, no, we see it, we know what's going on. And I think it's almost like a compensation for that. You're like, look, I came here, I chose to do this. I'm going to make sure that people working here are at least taken care of while I'm here. And I think that's kind of the maybe like the split in generations.
Yeah. It's just very interesting. It's very interesting because ultimately you don't know who is getting paid. Like, most of the time you don't know what their hourly, like, if they're being paid fairly.
No. And like a state like California, where I believe, if I understand it correctly, our like service industry, like our waiters, and they're paid at least minimum wage here. There's not the like the offset where in other states where they pay you just basically below minimum wage and the tips get you over. But in California, they have to pay you at least the minimum wage here. So it's different even state by state.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm looking at like servers in Texas. Server salary? Would I look at server salary? I don't understand.
We'll have to do some research on minimum wage treatment of servers.
I'm interested in it. I definitely Beth Ann says, also, I think a lot of us worked service jobs where older people never did. They went right to corporate jobs. They are far removed and forget it. I agree with that. I agree that they're very far removed. So let's go all the way back. Let's take this back to Anastasia. So I think that her parents are far removed from it. I know personally that sometimes when my parents tell me something that they want to get across to me, I kind of just turn off I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna, y'all are my parents, right? And I'm guessing it might be similar in this backwards way, where if it comes from Anastasia, then from her parents, they're probably just thinking, oh, you don't know, right? It's always different when someone outside of like your immediate family offers you advice or information. So I almost think like it's probably best to leave it be, and then if the conversation comes up naturally or organically, definitely engage in that conversation and maybe share the why behind the tipping, the why as in the salary or the hourly wage they're working, the treatment, things like that. Because I think that a lot of times, especially in these situations where you're talking with someone who feels very set in their ways, your opinion is not enough to make them question their beliefs that they've been holding for years and years.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is, they're just coming from a whole different point in time. And some older people are really open to change and like they'll embrace the way the world is different than it was when they grew up. But there's a lot of other people who are like, look, this is the way, this is how it's always been done. This is clearly must have been the right way because they did it for so long. So it's not my fault that these entitled people want more money. I think that's the way a lot of older people sometimes approach it. And they'll just be like, I'm not tipping any more than this.
I agree. So Anastasia, let us know what you decide to do, whether you decide to talk to them or just say, let me just be prepared to have this conversation in a very productive way. If it ever does come up organically, let us know what you decide. Also, you could have a sibling have this conversation. That's another great thing to do. Put
Team
it on
up on
someone
them.
else.
But also before we hop out here, I'm going to give at least one suggestion on how to handle this, because if I was in her shoes and I knew how much my parents were tipping and it was not enough, I would then, and I felt bad about it. I would honestly do what she would said she's tried and just bring some extra money to leave. I would just bring like a 20 or something with me, and then just like when we leave the table, I would even do it in front of my parents. I'd be like, here, just throw it on the bill. And but if you don't want that
Yeah, but
confrontation,
that's you, Chris.
yeah, if you don't want that confrontation, I would let everyone get up, and you could even be like, oh, you know what? I left something at the table. As you start to walk away, you go back and just drop the 20 there. Because then at least you know you're going to do right by the people working there. You feel better.
That's
Your
true.
conscience is clear, and you don't have to try to convince some people who may not be open to being convinced.
That's true. I love it. I
So,
love
yeah,
it.
I
Well,
just
thank you,
agree with that.
Anastasia, for sending that in. And of course, if you have an awkward money situation, we are running low. So we need your help. The show must go on, and we need you to help us make it happen. So send us your awkward money questions by calling us at 707 200 8259 or go to www.awkwardpodcast.com where you can send it to us there as well.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be hopping into, I guess, our final What We're Loving before the summer break.
Oh,
Gasp. All right. I was looking, ADHD Phi Life
saw
said,
that.
I just found out that some self-checkout machines are asking for tips. I wish I would give them a tip at a self-checkout machine, because you don't tip cashiers.
No. Why would you tip a self-checkout machine? That's ridiculous.
You know, one thing that that bothered me, it was, I don't know if it was during, oh, Shirley said, now we'll see you later.
Bye, Shirley. Aw.
It was, I think it was during the holidays, and Amazon had the audacity, right? Because I paid for Prime. They have the audacity to be like, lower your carbon footprint, and by selecting this slower shipping option. I was like, no, Amazon, you lower your carbon footprint. I paid
They
you.
always do that for me.
What?
They're always offering a farther away time period to get things.
Yeah, but normally they give you a credit. It used to be, oh, here's a $1, $2, $3 like digital
Yeah,
rental
they don't do
credit or
that
whatever.
anymore today.
No, they're like, oh, you can reduce your carbon footprint. I was like, don't put the
All
blame
your
on me.
packages together. Yeah.
I was like, don't try to shame me. How about you?
You are
figure it out?
lowering your carbon footprint by you not driving out. and getting it. You're having them do it, but all in one fail swoop, and the others in your area. So by staying home and ordering online, you've done your part.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, I don't like this. Don't try to shade.
Yeah.
Don't try to guilt me into helping you save money. That's not what I'm about to do.
Exactly.
But anyway, hold on. Oh wait, this is from Beth Ann. She said, "And where does self-checkout tip go?" That's what I want to know.
know.
Because
It
I
goes
don't
to the
think
company.
it's not going to the
It goes to the
employees.
No.
It's
course
kind of
not.
like when they when you go to like a Walgreens or any grocery store, and like, oh, do you want to donate to whatever fund or whatever's going on? Like, your money is just helping them get a tax write-off. Like, they're just donating they're taking the money from you, and then they're just giving some of their own money, like an equal dollar amount, so they can write it off. Like, they're not
Really? I did
actually,
not know that.
yeah, they're not actually, it's not like the same as you giving a direct donation. Like, they're just using your registered donations as a way for them to write off that donation. So once I found that out, I'm like, I'll donate on my own. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not helping you
I
get a
don't ever
tax
do
break.
that. I don't ever do that.
No. I used to feel really bad though, because you feel guilty. It's like, do you want to help these starving children?
Oh,
Like,
you know
well, yeah,
what
of
I
course
always
do.
say? I always say, not today.
Not today. Like, you're gonna come back tomorrow.
Like if a Girl Scout wants me to buy cookies, I always buy from my neighbors Girl Scout cookies. But if I'm like walking out of the grocery store and there's these like girls standing there in the cold rain with their box of cookies, and I don't want to buy their cookies, then I say, oh, I already bought my cookies. Thank you though. So you could say, I already donated. I already donate. Thank you though. I already
you could.
donate.
That's
to
a
a
nice
cause.
polite way. Okay, I have a story, but I'm gonna save it for our Patreon episode we got to
Yes.
record, because it has to do with
Yes.
kind of tipping. It's in the vein of that, so I'm gonna make a little note here
Okay.
for us to do that.
Will you bring us back?
I will. All right, I gotta write that in. Okay. You getting hydrated?
Mm-hmm. Let's do this.
All right, Allison. We're about to get into your favorite segment. Why don't you bring us into it?
Oh my goodness, Chris. I must admit that when you said that this was going to be our last segment of what I'm loving for the summer, I honestly kind of got a little sad. And I thought, wow, we will no longer for several months be able to share the things that are bringing us joy, the things that make us happy. It could be a person, a TV show, a book, a product that we have purchased, just an idea, a philosophy that brings us joy, love, and happiness that we can share with others. And the only way that after today you can get more of What I'm Loving is if you join Patreon, because we're going to be doing a special What I'm Loving episode during the summer. So check it out.
You know, I really like you gave that pitch, and then as I'm looking at your screen, what I see on your shirt is not to be trusted.
My shirt says not to be trusted, alone at Target.
I was
I
like,
got it from Target.
I was like, Allison, you lost all credibility. You were just not to be trusted.
I once taught a money class in this shirt, a live money class. And they were like, I don't know if we should trust her. Like in the comments, because all they saw was not to be trusted.
Oh, do you want to kick us off, Allison, or do you want to go last for this one?
Mine is very simple. Mine is in honor of summer approaching. You know, we travel a lot in the summer. My husband's a teacher, so we have our big summer vacations, and I have a very flexible job where I can just bring my laptop and go. And honestly, like my job slows down. I don't know if you know this, but people don't really want to hear about budgeting and money and
When they're about to go spend a bunch of it.
Yeah, on summer. I catch them at the end of the summer when they feel a little bit bad about themselves, and I'm like, it's okay. Let's fix this. Anyway, so in honor of summer, I have my new favorite sunscreen, face sunscreen. This is CeraVe Hydrating Mineral Sunscreen, SPF 30. I have started following specific dermatologists on TikTok to just try to make sure that my 36-year-old skin stays in the 30s, maybe even when I go into my 40s by a little bit. So I have been coming up with the system for myself. And this is one of my sunscreens that I use every single day. So I'm going to load up on it in the summertime. I'm basically just going to wear this. I'm not even going to wear makeup because it's tinted. And yeah, I love it. It is suitable for sensitive skin. And they just came out with a whole bunch of different colors because normally like tinted sunscreen comes in one shade.
Oh,
but
wait,
obviously
wait, tinted
they're not all
means it's like putting a color on your skin. Is that what's happening?
very, very lightly. So it's like this brown, like this light brown, but it doesn't really do a lot. Like, I don't know, I'm going to put it on my arm right here. It doesn't do a lot. It just adds like a little bit. So can you see how it's changed my arm at all?
No, not really.
Okay. So it just adds a very, very, very small amount of just trying to smooth everything out, if you will. I don't think it does much of a good job, but you don't also get that like white sunscreen. Like if you put on like white,
yeah.
So it's not that either. But I like this because I like it. I put it actually on under my makeup right now. So I will put this on. I wake up, I put on my vitamin C. Then I add my moisturizer, and I use a CeraVe moisturizer. Then I put on my sunscreen. Then I put on my makeup. And at the end of the night, I will put on my retinol. And then
What about your acid?
I don't use my acid anymore. Actually, the acid is kind of built into the vitamin C that I use. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1. Think of like, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. And then I use my retinol at like twice a week. And then on the opposite nights, I either use like a really heavy moisturizer or I use a Paula's Choice exfoliator.
This sounds like far too much work. Far too much work. This is what I do in the morning. I get a washcloth and I put it in hot water and I go, and I slap it on my face. And I take some lotion and I go, and then I walk outside.
Well, you should be wearing sunscreen.
I actually should. I had this belief when I was younger that I was like, oh, I'm black. I'm not going to get sunburnt. And then I got sunburnt one time. I was like, oh, I guess I can get sunburnt.
Wow.
So, yeah, I need to.
I mean, obviously, the darker your skin, the fewer wrinkles you get. So you're already very lucky there.
And melanin to the rescue.
Yes, exactly. But by putting on sunscreen, I bet you could even prevent wrinkles even better.
You see any wrinkles on this face?
I don't know. You're all blurry.
I got some forehead wrinkles. My dad, though, my dad is a darker complexion than me. And he is 69 years old now. And
how old does he look?
He doesn't even have any wrinkles on his face.
I know, for real. It's like amazing. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you're already blessed with that, but
You still got to
still
protect
put
your
on
skin.
sunscreen.
You got to
You
protect your
do.
skin still.
Yeah, it's not just about the wrinkles; it's also about the skin cancer.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I would like to not have skin cancer.
I would like for not that you go outside a lot, but
I know I'm at low risk for skin cancer, but ADHD Fi Life,
Yes.
she says she's loving your skincare advice.
oh, thank you. I've been following a lot of TikTok dermatologists like that do like choose this, not that, all these things. So I'm trying to see like what do I need to splurge on versus what do I need to like save on, and it's been very interesting. I'm enjoying it. I finally feel like I have a system that I like, but I'm sure as I age, my system will have to change, and that's okay.
It's okay. You may have to bring out the big guns after a while.
Yeah, I will. Yes, probably.
Just straight up plaster.
What are, that's called Botox. Straight up Botox. I have not had Botox yet. I don't know if I will. I say I won't, but who knows? Maybe when I'm 40, I'll change my mind. Okay, what are you loving, Chris?
Okay, I put it into the doc because I want to see if you can figure out what you might know what this. You have well, I'm not gonna give you any hints. Well, I kind of did. You might know what this is, but at the same time, I don't think you know what this is. So go ahead,
Said
tell
I
people.
have kids? Is that
I
what
kind of
you
let
were
that
saying?
slip. So you have kids. So you might know what this is.
Okay, I don't know what this is. It
All right.
says Steam Deck. And what I'm wondering if it is this some sort of deck of cards, maybe a 2-player game. Oh, by your laughter, I can see no. Okay,
I shouldn't have. I gotta
Plan-
stop reacting. Hold on.
that was idea A. Idea B, Steam Deck. This sounds like a new version of Battleship, where you're on the deck of a ship
Of a
that's
steamship,
steaming up
steamboat.
in because it's on fire, and you have to escape the ship in the life rafts in time, and it's an entire like game. Think of it like Chutes and Ladders almost. Like sometimes you get closer to the life raft, sometimes you slide down into the fire, right?
What kind
So,
of horrible version of Shoots and Ladders is this?
the kind that just naturally comes to my mind. Oh, Logan says that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. I actually have the board game right over here. Let me move this out the way. So here it is. Here's the board game right here. This is the Steam Deck board
What
game.
is that? I can't tell what it is.
I'm gonna make it bigger. I know you can't see here,
Well, I
but
can't see because I'm all fuzzy.
so this is it. It's like it's a handheld. Well, right here. It's a handheld like gaming
Is it a
machine
Switch?
here.
Looks like
So
a
it's
Switch.
kind of like a Switch, except the these don't detach off of here. But basically, it's created by this company called Valve, and they run Steam, which is like a video game store that's made for like computers, like for PC gaming. And
Okay.
so a couple years ago, I built a gaming PC, but I found myself not wanting to use it because I'm sitting in this room all day doing work. And then I proceed to say, oh, let me sit in here for I've been here for 8 hours. Let me sit in here for another 2 hours and try to play a game, which just wasn't happening. And so I've been thinking about getting this thing. It's basically a device that plays a lot of those PC games on here.
Okay.
And
Like what?
So
Like Minecraft?
I don't know. I don't play Minecraft, but it's like it's
Oh,
it's
well,
it's
like-
there's thousands upon thousands of games. I can't even
Okay.
begin to start like naming them, but it's a lot of games. Games you would see on consoles, games you would see on computers. There's a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I got it. I've been thinking about it. Then Logan was like, he peer pressured me. He's like, hey, it's on sale. You should get it.
How
So
much was it?
I broke down and got it. It was, let me see the model I got, how much it was. It was not cheap. That's why I kept putting it off from getting it.
Well,
But it is Steam Deck. Go on their website.
does it come with all the games already on it?
So no, it doesn't. So it
You
was
have
on.
to pay for them?
I had to pay for it. Regular
my
price is $529, and I got it at like 10% off.
Wow.
So I paid like $480, something like that.
And then
Yeah.
you have to buy the games that go on it.
You do, but I already had a bunch of games because I already had them for the computer. And then what ended up happening is like
Drag and drop them.
it just automatically shows up. So when you turn it on, can I turn it on? Let's see.
Wow,
When you
that's
turn it
magical.
on, it'll pop on right here. It's in sleep mode, and you can see.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold up, back it up. So this is the home screen. You probably can't see. It's probably not in focus at all. But it has your whole library of games. Everything I've already bought on Steam is here. Most are compatible, some aren't because it's a less powerful than a whole computer. But the games are much cheaper on PC, like through Steam, than they are on like a console. Like I just bought a really big game the other day. And it was like $3. Here's a game that was
nice.
like $6. So you just save stuff to your wish list, and then when they go on sale, you get notified.
Can you take that on an airplane? Do you need Wi-Fi for it to work?
No. So I think there are some games that have to like check in, but I took it on a plane with me. Well, when I went with my brother
Okay.
to San Francisco, I took it with me. The only thing is I'm too big to sit in an airplane seat and play a game because I'm
Are
already
you like T-Rex?
exactly. I'm already crunched in like this. Like I'm already sitting like this, and someone's right next to me. My shoulders are all the way in, and then if you try to play a game, you have to lift your arms up. So I played a little bit, but it was just not comfortable. I'm just too wide for an airplane. Like I've just never been the
Sounds like you need
size,
to only fly first class.
and I've never flown first class. So
Neither have I. No, that's not true. I have once, but it wasn't very exciting. It was just a domestic
yeah,
2-hour flight.
I always fly Southwest because they're the cheapest.
Yeah.
And I always try to book my little whatever check-in thing early so I can get the exit row. So at least I have leg room. But
yeah.
they're not any wider than any of the other seats.
Sometimes there's the exit row where it's only 2 seats, though. That's nice, huh?
I always do the one that's behind them because the third row, there's no seat. The seat behind it, there's no seat in front of you. So I get all this leg room. But on the flight up there was like 3 guys my size, or 2 guys my size. We're all sitting right next to each other. So we're all just like crammed in there. So
Oh my gosh.
I can't, but I played it in the whatever the terminal, the airport terminal while you're waiting. I played it like in the hotel room, so it's been nice. It's gotten me to play more games than I have in years, just because it's easy. I
nice.
just play it on the couch, or if I'm want to take a break from work real quick, I'll turn it on for a few minutes. So yeah, that's what I'm loving. It's been nice to play games again. I used to play obviously all the time when I was younger, but as I got older, it's hard to find the time to do stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm loving. The Steam Deck. It was more money than I wanted to spend because I don't. like spending money, but it was worthwhile for sure.
I would never spend money on that, but more
I know
power
you
to
would. Now, if this was a prop from that movie where that girl died on the toilet, if it was a toilet brush that was next to the toilet when she died.
Do we have a listener shout out? Do we have a listener shout out schedule? Because I actually have one.
Go for it. No, we don't have one.
I would like to shout out ADHD Fi Life, who is joining us live for the first time. She came on and said, I finally get to see one of these live. So thank you for joining us. I think it's fun whenever we have people live to interact with. And we had a lot of people join us today on an
Yeah, we
odd
did.
time.
I guess Fridays
shout
kind of
out
work.
Shout out to you, ADHD Fi Life. And yeah, thanks for joining us. I hope you get to join us for more of these.
Yeah, she said I could probably take my Stardew Valley game on the go. I think you can. I haven't checked the compatibility, but I'm sure you could. Check it out. Check it out. Thanks for watching this.
Yeah. Okay, Chris. We made it to the end of our final episode before our summer break. So, to anyone who wants more of this, you don't want us to be gone in your podcast feed, be sure to join us over on Patreon. Even if you just join us for a couple months, that's totally okay. We're going to be putting out extra bonus content. It's really fun content. We'll be doing a What I'm Loving special. We have some new segment ideas that we're kind of tossing around, so we get to try them out in Patreon first. It's really fun. You can go to the show notes or go to patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast to get more information.
Yes, you can. And also, as a bonus little shout out, thanks to all of our patrons who support us and keep us going and always here encouraging us and join us in the chat when we record live. It really does make a big difference having you all here with us. So we appreciate you sticking with us, and we'll keep seeing you over the summer break because we're going to be breaking from this will be the last official episode. So it's going to be, what's the date? This is the last one of May, basically. And then the show will be on break June and July, and then we'll be coming back the first Wednesday in August.
Yeah. So if we don't see you in Patreon, then I guess we'll see you in August.
Yeah, we'll see you in August, I guess. But if you're like, I still want to, I got some awkward stuff I think is coming up. Remember, give us a call, 707-200-8259, or head over to awkwardpodcast.com and fill out our form there and leave us your awkward story because we need some more. We're running very, very low on our list of awkward stories, and we need some more.
See you in August. Bye.
See ya.
Wanna be ya. Sorry, I had to do it.
Oh, man. All right, let me see. Make sure my video was a little choppy there at the end. We made it through.
Okay, let's do this Patreon episode.
Let's get into it. All right, let me pop this over here. I'm gonna stop. See you later.
I have like
Facebook.
30 minutes, Chris.
All right, we'll make this a quick one. All right. Okay. Boom. All right, we're gonna continue just on YouTube here.
Okay, are you gonna put in the song and dance?
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Okay, welcome to our Patreon episode that I am titling Kid Confessions.
Okay, I'm interested to hear where this is going.
Okay, so this happened today, this morning. This is why I was like, I need to talk about this on Patreon. So I asked, I was driving my kids to school this morning. Now, granted, it's a short ride, but we get there a little bit early, so we had to wait for about 10 minutes before they got out of the car and went into the school doors opening, whatever. We're in the car, and my oldest son starts just confessing things. Like, he said he had a sleepover for his birthday, and he, like, ratted out a friend who, because at his birthday party, Matt took away all their devices at, like, midnight, and then they stayed up until, like, 1:30 in the morning, like 11-year-olds, and one of his friends, like, snuck downstairs while everyone was sleeping and got his iPad and played games on it until, like, 4 o'clock in the morning. So, like, he started confessing, and all of these just confessions came out of him while we're in the car this morning. And I'm trying not to be like, I want to be the kind of mom where you're not scared to tell me something because of how I'm going to react. Right? Like,
Yeah.
so that way, so you, therefore you keep it a secret. Basically, I don't want to be all of our parents.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, you know what? Let's call this confession day. And my kids were like, what? And I was like, you can confess anything you want to me today. Like, you can let me know anything that you, like, did that you weren't supposed to do or anything like that. Because then he started confessing things. And I was like, and I won't, like, be mad, and you won't have a consequence. And so then my oldest son just started making all these confessions.
Uh-oh.
And, like, of stupid things he's done because he's a boy. Like, for instance, he swam in the bayou near our house that has alligators in it when he told me he was at the park one time. I was like, not okay. Alligators will eat you. Like, they will see you as a tasty snack. He's like, but there weren't alligators there that time. And I was like, how many alligators have you seen down there? He's like, 2. But that was a long time ago. I was like, there still could be alligators there. Like, we don't do that. Then he told me he used, like, a straw. It's called a life straw that you can, like, stick in any pond of water. And he drank water out of the bayou. He's starting to tell me all of these crazy things, like all of these dangerous things that he's done, like when he's at a friend's house and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, great. Like, and my reaction, I'm trying to just be like, okay, well, did you get hurt? Or was the, 20-mile-per-hour electric scooter that you rode on that was a friend's that I didn't know you were riding on without a helmet? Did that get hurt when you ran into a tree? Okay, well, let's not do that in the future. And I'm just trying to have this, like, kid confession time today.
Oh man, that, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't think I would. If my mom said that to me, I wouldn't trust her. I was like, this is a trap. You're gonna, yeah, maybe right now, but tomorrow it's all gonna come back to haunt me.
I mean, here's the deal. I figure if I can get them to trust me now with the little things, like I swam in possibly alligator-infested waters, then when it's the big things, like when they're in high school or college and they make really bad mistakes or really big, things, like I want them to feel comfortable enough to come to me. So I call my mom afterwards and I'm like, Mom, I just did this amazing parenting thing. And she was like, I don't know if that was a great idea. I was like, really? Like, I thought it was great. Like,
why didn't she like it?
I don't know.
It made her nervous, didn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. But I kind of want to hear from any of the other moms out there listening, or just any other people who have moms. If you do think this is a good idea, I also, to TBD, like maybe it's a terrible idea and I just haven't found out yet. But I feel like at this age, there's not any like big bombshells that are going to be dropped on me.
It feels safe to do that right now.
So this gives me time to show them, like, okay, you can tell me things, even if they feel like bombshells to you, and I know they're really not, big bombshells in life, that I will react in a calm, cool demeanor and like, thank you. And they're telling me things that like happened 2 years ago that they've hidden. And it's like, okay, you don't have to hide that. Like, let's lay it all out. What do you think? Should I? The more I talk about it, the worse it sounds.
But you're building trust, right? Like it's one other piece in that wall of trust you're building up. It's gonna be like an annual day, like every year on this day they can come to you and confess.
No, it's not that. I just said, let's call this confession day. You can confess anything. Like, you can tell me, or I said, let's call it confession day. You can tell me anything you want. So like my son told me about something he did in school. Like, I don't even remember what it was. Like, he drew a map of our neighborhood when he was supposed to be doing math or something. Like, secretly had a piece of paper and was drawing a map of our neighborhood, showing his friend where everyone lives in our neighborhood, that a kid who doesn't live in our neighborhood. So it's like he was there, and I was like, oh, like, did you get caught? He was like, no. And I was like, well, if you would, like, that's good, you didn't get caught. Like, I don't know. Okay, see, ADHD Fi Life says, not a mom, but I have worked as a temp nanny. I love this. I never felt comfortable talking to my mom, like kind of how Chris mentioned.
Yeah, because it's like I did not trust them to do that. I remember we weren't supposed to, like, we lived in this kind of like neighborhood. It wasn't a gated neighborhood, but it was like there was only one way in and out of the neighborhood, and it kind of like branched out to a bunch of different streets. And I remember we were told, me and my friends, both our parents were like, do not leave this neighborhood. Like, you can ride your bikes all around here, but do not go out to like the main street and drive around. So of course, one day during the summer when they weren't at home, we took our bikes and we rode out to the railroad tracks, and we're like jumping over the tracks and riding all around. And then we come back and they go through like the, you know, like in the gutters, like water that builds up. They ride through there to wash their tires. And they're like, oh, aren't you going to do it? I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So obviously when my parents get home, they see my bike is like the tires are covered in dirt. There's no dirt in our neighborhood. And eventually I had to confess. And then my parents went and told their parents. And then I could hear them getting like, I don't want to say beat, that's a little strong, but they were getting hit across the streets. They were getting hit. And I was like, oh man. So yeah, I had no trust that I could.
See, and that's the thing. It's like, what is it that is the reason why you don't trust them? Because of their explosive reactions.
Yeah, they're not gonna take it like okay, you shouldn't do that.
Well,
but
and as a parent, there are going to be times you have explosive reactions. Like, that's just going to happen because we don't have our shit together all the time. Like, it's just we are reactionary people by nature. But I will say that I want them to see that you can come to me with hard things, and I won't be explosive. I won't explode on you. So that's my thing, is like, I also felt like that more with my dad, because I didn't know, like, it's like the unknown, what's going to happen. I don't want that for my kids.
I think it's great that you're starting that you're building that trust up. And I think that'll make a difference. Like, I can't imagine how I would have reacted if my parents would have said something like that. I mean, other than I wouldn't believe them. But if they actually followed through on it, I'm sure that would have had a big impact on how I like thought about what I could tell them.
Well, what's funny is that Evan was like, will you do it too, Mom? Will you confess?
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you if you did.
Get mad. Yeah. And I said, ooh. And he said, can we do this after school today? So he wants to do this today. And I said, but I can think of one right now. He said, what? I said, one time recently, Matt had a pint of ice cream in the freezer and he had only eaten half of it. And I would like go in during the day when no one's home and I'd like skim just the top off the half, you know, like what was left. And I'd eat just a couple spoonfuls off the top, and then I put it back in, and he's never found out. And I told Evan that, and he said, we all know you do that, Mom. I was like, what? How do you know?
You're not slick at all. You thought you were getting away with something.
I thought I was getting away with it. So anyway, that's like kid confessions. Because I think about it, like there was recently, I don't remember when this was, but it was my family was all together. And I confessed something to my parents that I had discovered that my brother did. So I don't know if it was really a confession.
That's not a confession. That's called snitching. That's what that is.
I snitched on my brother. I said something like one time, because you know, when we were growing up, like Jackass was the big thing. Right?
Yeah, that was huge.
Getting those camcorders and like doing really stupid stuff and recording it, right? So Nick did that a lot. My brother did, and his friends. Well, one time I found the camcorder and I was rewatching it, and I saw, maybe I've shared this story before, that he had a pair of shoes on fire in our bathroom sink. Like it was literally
a pair of shoes?
A pair of shoes on fire, like huge flames in our bathroom sink, and they videotaped it. And I found it, and he was like, "You can't tell them." Like, oh, I was like, "This is so stupid. Like, what are you doing? You could have burned the house down. Have you no sense? Like, what's going on?" And I recently told my parents that this story
Allison.
because we couldn't tell them because of like the fear, right?
I can't believe you snitched like that.
I did, and then they were just like, "Oh, we never knew that." They don't care now because it's their house is fine.
You know,
But-
I don't know what it is about being young and burning stuff, but I would do that too. I've never burned a pair of shoes, but I remember I think my parents, I told them like we were all around and I mentioned this to them that I remember I would like burn like paper towels like in the sink, like just to see,
Really?
like you just light it on fire and they're like, oh, you just turn the water on and turn it off. Like I don't know what it is about being young, maybe being young pyromaniacs,
Pyromaniac.
but I never created a large fire inside of the house.
Okay, but I want to know if you were to do kid confessions as a kid, what's something you would have confessed to your parents other than riding your bike outside the neighborhood? Like, can you think of
That
anything?
they didn't find out about. I think now as an adult, I've kind of told them a bunch of stuff already.
So what's something that you hid from them that you told them
hid.
in adulthood?
Oh, so the thing that we would do is that 4th of July was a big time of year for us growing up because me and my friends, we would like go to the fireworks stands do you know what, because we in California, like the fireworks that shoot into the air blow up, they're all illegal. Like all the good stuff is illegal here.
What?
Like if you go to a fireworks stand, it's only stuff that like sits on the ground and shoots little sparks into the air.
How boring.
We have the worst fireworks. I mean, our state does catch on fire all the time, so I understand why we can't have them.
Yeah, I guess.
But we have the most boring fireworks.
Okay.
Occasionally, we would always drive to like Arkansas, so we would buy like illegal ones, and they have like the good
I
stuff.
mean, they are legal in Arkansas. You
Yeah.
just bring them back to
Exactly,
the
yeah.
state of California. Yes. Okay.
Or like you go to Arizona. Once you cross the border, like it's you know, you can go anywhere and buy fireworks. But what we
Okay.
would do instead is, since we if we didn't go
Arizona
anywhere,
also catch on fire easily?
it's a desert, so I don't think they care. I think like, what are you gonna do? Catch a sand on fire? So they. So what we would do is, do you have Piccolo Pete's? That's something we have because we don't have good fireworks. All they are is it's like a little. Imagine a stick like the size of like a pencil, it looks like a fat pencil, and it has a little stand, and you light it, and then all it does is just make a piercing high noise. That's all it does. It's just a very loud whistle. And so what we would do is we would buy a bunch of those, and then we would cut them open. And then this is how old it was. We would go get like film bottles when you take your film from your
Yep.
camera to go get exposed or developed. We
Yeah.
would take that, pour the powder from like 5 of those things inside of there, take one of the fuses, stick it in the top, and then duct tape the whole thing shut. And then we would light that, and it would turn into like basically like a big firecracker. Like it was just like an M80 or something like that. It was just like
So
boom,
like one thing, like something we can buy here in Texas, and it's just every day.
exactly like a normal loud firecracker there. We had to
Okay.
make our own. And so what we did was we took it and we found like this old robot in my garage. It was like preschool kid robot, and
Okay.
it was broken. So we stuck it inside the head, and then
Oh my God.
we lit the fuse. We ran back, and then I filmed it. So I had this camera. I would always make
Oh, you had your
the
Jackass
camera up
camera.
there. Yeah, exactly.
Camcorder.
And I filmed it, and it blew up. The head exploded. We all laughed. And then we were walking around, and we looked at my neighbor's car, and they had a hubcap, and there was this Cadillac, and it had like this big dent in the hubcap. And I was like, was that dent there before we lit this? And they're like, yeah, it must have been. So we go back to the tape. I was like, let's go back to the tape. And this is like an old camcorder, right? So it's not like true slow motion. You just have to kind of go frame by frame. And so as we look at it frame by frame, and the robot blows up, you can see a little white blur fly from the robot and go frame by frame and hit the hubcap on this car. And
Y'all tell the neighbor.
we just cleaned everything up and just went somewhere else. We just
Never
left.
see,
Never talked about it.
and then okay, would you ever tell your parents that?
Oh, as a kid, no, because then I
As a
don't know what
kid,
would happen. No.
Yeah, exactly. See, like, and I know my kids aren't going to tell me all the stupid crap they do.
No, they're
I'm
keeping the
more
good stuff.
concerned about the crap that really matters, like really, like stupid things that teenagers do that probably they shouldn't be doing. I don't know. I'm not going to
Yeah.
list all the things that you can do when you're a teenager, but I think I probably did them. So regardless, I'm just saying that I want my kids to feel comfortable to come and tell me when they do blow up something and damage the neighbor's car properly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
they
think
can-
you set a great precedent for them. I think that's I would have loved to have something like that
Yeah.
to feel
so-
comfortable.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I just want them to keep talking to me, especially as they get older. And then it's funny because when we were having this conversation, I was like, "You did that?" And then you have James, who's 2 years younger, is like, "Yeah, I saw it." And I'm like, "Oh, you've been holding on to these secrets. Like they have their secret, you know." And I'm like, "Oh, you did that too?" James is like, "Mm-hmm, I saw it too." Like
He was like, I
he
can say it
doesn't-
now. I won't get beat
he's
up.
nervous to do all of that stuff. Like James is more cautious, so he won't do a lot of the stuff that Evan does. But Evan's just he's my wild child. So
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I love it. Make it. I think you should make it an annual day. Mark this day on the calendar, and every year you have confession day.
confession day. I just want them to I don't want it to be a confession day. I want it to start out as a confession day and then they just come to me and say, I have something I need to say. Because think about it. Like, if they got in really big trouble, they did something really stupid. I want, like, okay, here's an example. I want them to be able, if my son goes and finds himself at some sort of party where they're doing some sort of drugs in high school and he doesn't have a way home because he's ridden with a friend and he has lied and told me that he's at the movie theaters or whatever, right? I want him to be able to call me or text me and say, I need you to come pick me up, and know that I'm not going to yell at him. I'm not going to do any of that, like, because you found yourself in a place where you shouldn't be, that he doesn't stay in that position because he's afraid mom's going to be explosive.
No, that's true. And
that's the ultimate goal.
okay, I like that.
And
Yeah,
it
because if you make it a
starts-
day, they're going to just wait until that day. They're going
Yes.
to tell you in the moment.
So it starts with kid confessions.
I like it. I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
It's a great idea.
Thank you. Thank
How are you doing on
Okay,
time?
what did you want to share? I have a good like 15 minutes, maybe
Okay.
maybe 10 to 15 minutes here.
All right, this is short. This is not going to be long at all. So,
Okay.
if you're listening to this after the fact, like after we've already recorded this, we did an episode all about tipping. We had our anonymous writer, Anastasia, who sent in the question, and it made me think about, or the story, and it made me think about tipping in unusual situations, but like a different version of tipping, like not a monetary tip, but like a gift of something. And I'd heard like in different situations, giving something to the people working, it could be like, one, it's nice, but also, they may be nicer to you. And I'd heard about giving gifts to like flight attendants when you're on the board, but I'd never actually seen someone do it. So this last flight I was on, I get on the plane, and then this guy, he gets on, and the flight attendants are like really nice to him. I just thought, I thought they were just being nice. Like he was like being really nice and having conversations. And then another flight attendant comes up holding something, and she was like, you're the one who gave us these Girl Scout cookies, aren't you? And he was like, yeah, that was me. And she was like, thank you so much. These aren't even going to last the flight over there. So he had brought like boxes of Girl Scout cookies and gave them to the flight attendants. And they were so appreciative. They were like giving him shout outs over the intercom, after they do the safety thing. And we want to say thanks to, I don't know what his name was, Jimmy, for the Girl Scout cookies that he brought for all the flight attendants. Like, they were loving it.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
And so we're sitting there on the flight, and I'm like, I wasn't like feeling well. I was like, I didn't really want to be in conversations. I was kind of just sitting to myself. And
It was Jimmy sitting next to you?
Jimmy was sitting right next to me, but there was a really talkative guy right next to him. So they were talking, and then I was just overhearing what they were saying. He said that he started doing this a while back, and he does it on every flight now. And he said, it's Southwest, so they can't really give you an upgrade, but like they moved him from where he was and gave him the exit row seat next to me. Like they said, oh, we got a free seat.
How?
Come over.
They kicked someone out?
No, like it was just empty, but they
It was
went
empty,
to him
okay.
specifically and said, hey, you want this seat? There's more legroom, and brought him from his other seat over there. And so he said, on Southwest, they can't really do a whole lot. He said, but they're just really nice to you. They're really appreciative. He said, but I used to get like first class. I got like a first class upgrade one time because I brought like Girl Scout cookies. And he's like, that's just the thing he does now. Just every time he takes
That
a
is
flight, he
brilliant.
brings a gift with him. And I was like, that is
I
so
love that idea.
smart.
How many flight attendants are there?
There's only like three? Like on a
3 or
small
4.
like domestic flight, there's like I think there's 3. I don't know.
We're flying a lot this year, and also like me, like I almost want to make that like my okay, that's what I'm going to do in 2023. Not Girl Scout cookies because I don't have easy access to those anymore, but like even
Like
if
a
I just
Starbucks
go
gift card.
yeah, a Starbucks gift card or like cookies. Just like go to Trader Joe's and buy some like packaged cookies that aren't.
But it got to be
open.
good stuff, I think, right? Like, I don't think you want to bring them like the cheapest stuff you could find. It has to be something of quality. It doesn't have to be like overly expensive, but something.
Okay,
of
so what
quality.
about like Justine's peanut butter cups, like the organic peanut butter chocolate?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'd rather have a Reese's than.
So like candy, or like what about like the Milano cookies?
Well, see, I don't know. I don't do this. I think it's trial, and you got to figure out what people actually want. You got to think about like yourself as a teacher. Like, what would someone bring you that you would be like, oh, that was really nice. They didn't have to do that, but this is nice. This isn't just like some random afterthought.
I love the idea of a Starbucks gift card, but I love the idea of them being able to utilize what I bring them right there on the plane.
That's true. You can also do that. I mean, once they get off the plane, you're going to be in the airport. There's a
Yeah, that's
Starbucks in every airport.
That's true. But I like that idea a lot. I really like the idea. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to say how it's over. ADHD Fi Life says, I hear chocolate is pretty good. Yeah. What
Ooh.
about like some fancy chocolate? Like not like Hershey's. What if it's like, I don't know, fancy chocolate, like Lindor truffles or like that. Those really good Lindor chocolates.
You got to make sure it doesn't melt on the way to the airport to give to them. Don't put it in your pocket.
Texas. It's kind of hard. But no, I like that idea. I saw something online, or it was either TikTok or it was an article or something, and it was this woman who was somewhere in Asia, and she was flying somewhere, I don't know, somewhere, and she had a newborn or like a baby, and she brought a gift for the entire plane, like 200 people. She brought
What did
like
she bring
a
then?
little bag, like a little bag of treats that said basically like, thank you for being like, this is my baby's first flight. Thank you for being sweet to them or something. And it was like a bag of sweets, like something small. But like,
That is
I was like,
nice.
dang. That, and then had the flight attendants pass them out to every single person on the flight.
That's some thinking ahead right there. I don't think most people would
Yeah,
be like,
I wouldn't do that.
that's a lot of work. It's probably a lot of money too. I mean,
It
even
is.
if they're
I'm
cheap
sure it is.
little candies in there.
Yeah, and then putting them in individual bags and everything. I will say that my mom, whenever I had Evan, my first baby, I didn't understand, like, I was young. I was clueless. I'll just be honest with you. I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember my mom being like, I'm going to bring the nurses some treats. And I'm like, why? Like, because I was completely
They're just doing their
unaware.
job. That's what you're doing.
Exactly, right? Like, so I'm the person tipping $1 per person or whatever, like, essentially. So my mom she had made like homemade cookies for the nurses and had all these treats that she brought on my final day in the hospital, and they were so appreciative. And I was like, thanks, Mom, for making me look good. Like,
It's those little things, right? Like I know this is not the same thing as like traditional tipping, but I think the thoughtfulness goes a long way, especially for these people who work these jobs that, they probably don't get treated the best all the time. And they're not
Yeah.
really showing appreciation for much of the work that they're doing. So I
Yeah.
think it means a lot, because I'm trying to think, when I worked in retail, like worked in banking, I worked in like Sears for years. I worked as a paintball referee. Like no one was bringing me nothing. But if someone would have just given me something like, oh, hey, appreciate all your help, it would have meant a lot. Even if it was something like small, it didn't have to be expensive, but just something
Yeah.
small that was like thoughtful and didn't like they just pulled some trash out of their pocket. It would have been appreciated.
That's true. Okay, I'm going to do this. Did he bring one box per person?
The woman looked like she had 2 boxes in her arms. Now, I don't know if those are all the boxes, but at minimum, there were 2 boxes of cookies that he brought.
Okay, this is good to know.
So you may need to buy some Girl Scout cookies, throw them in your freezer, and just wait till you go on a trip.
Anymore.
Is it? I don't even know when Girl Scout cookie season is. I have no idea when that
It's
is.
January, which I think is the worst time of the year.
Yeah, why January? Like everyone's trying to have like their New Year's resolutions. Like to
I
me,
know.
like spring is good, or like summertime. Like
No, not summer, because too many people are out and about. But like,
yeah, that's when you can sell cookies. Everyone's out. They're all Girl Scouts are always on the
when I
street.
say out and about, I mean like not home.
Oh, I'm at home in the summer.
I
I mean, we're not
know.
all you, Allison, to just abandon our house for 2 months and go travel the world and then come back at some
Okay.
point.
Let the record show on the internet that I am not just abandoning my house. We do have a security system. We are coming home often. My home will not just be purely abandoned. My neighbors are keeping an eye on it. So I just want that put out there for anyone who might be listening that wants to pop by unannounced.
Very good point. Very good point. Beth Ann also said that.
Beth Ann
You see that? Go ahead. You can take
Yes.
it.
Beth Ann said it's because they are raising money for their summer trips. That makes sense.
I didn't even think about that.
That makes
That's
sense.
true.
I didn't think about that.
Why not? Why don't they just sell them like during like the holidays, like that gap between like November and like Thanksgiving and Christmas? That's the perfect time to be selling
That
cookies.
is the perfect time because then they could have Christmas themed. They could have holiday themed cookies.
And people are real loose with their money during the holidays. You can probably get a lot more cookies sold instead of buying like one box. People are buying like, oh, let me buy 5 boxes and I'm gonna give them away
I
as
have
gifts.
these. And I have these events. I'm hosting this party so I can serve Girl Scout cookies on a platter.
Yeah, we need to talk to Girl Scout PR and say you got to make some changes. You could be doing this better.
Exactly. Okay, well, we're gonna have to wrap it up because I need to go get my kids.
Let's get out of here. Hopefully, you get some more. Oh, you got to get your confessions ready and go pick up your kids.
No, I need to come up with some good confessions. These are my confessions. This is my confession. This is my confession.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Just so y'all know, when we started the episode, the regular main episode before this, in the beginning, my basketball story about the Usher, I put, what did I put as a note? I put Usher sass.
Usher sass.
And then Allison was like, I always want to go to an Usher concert.
I thought this was something about Usher. I thought you were going to tell a story about Usher.
Like I met Usher and he was like really mean to me or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No, I did not meet Usher.
Logan says I was waiting for someone to sing that. Well, we knew it wasn't going to be Chris.
It was not going to be me. Don't worry. You never have to worry about that. I will not be singing anyone a song.
But hey, maybe Logan, the next time Chris gives you a massage, he could play the Usher soundtrack.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
background.
What was that one where he's dancing in the rain? Is that Confessions?
I think so, yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
He
should always dance in the rain with his shirt off.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show up with like a button-up shirt open for the massage.
This is getting weird.
This is for
This is
you.
getting weird.
Shh, watch this.
Okay. On that note,
Let It Burn. That's what that song is. Let It Burn. It's the one where he's dancing in the street.
like Logan knows.
He always knows. All right, yeah, you're right. Let's get out. We've been ending this for like 3 minutes now. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you sticking with us. And this is a Patreon episode. We'll be seeing y'all in a couple of weeks when the next episode comes out.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you then.